right, here we are. It's time for Town Hall meeting number 176. It's January 20th, 2026. And today we are being joined by Christina, Colleen, Ayomi, and Vanni. A small crowd, but a cherished crowd. Thanks for being on here. I imagine today's agenda, as you can see, it will be relatively short. We might be able to save ourselves some time, but yeah, there's the whole slot available, of course. Starting off with a couple of mentions and then a little update. I'll try and keep it short on the restructure and what's going on there and how you can get involved. And then a new segment, Invisible Work Hero of the Week. And yeah, it kind of explains it in the title what it's all about, but you'll see. If there's any room for open topics after that, and there very well might be, feel free to take the floor in a bit. Before actually getting started, a quick reminder on what the Ambassador Program even is and what we're doing. Basically, we're a group of like-minded people that are all quite in tune with the mission and vision of SingularityNET, and it works toward beneficial AGI. We have a wide range of self-organized work groups, so if you're interested in helping out, we do have a work group that fits your needs, your talents, your interests. You can find a how to join section on the Discord server, and that will get you going. Yeah, a couple of mentions. These are going to be very quick. First one on next week's town hall. That's going to be the work group updates one. And right now the aim is for pretty much all the work groups to give a short, very short update on what's good, what's going on. Yeah, it's a little introduction to 2026 would be good to hear from all work groups what's up. And yeah, I'm thinking like 2-3 minutes, please don't go like full 15-minute exploration of everything. The aim is to really keep it short and concise and cover a lot of different work groups so that we can give a decent overview of all the stuff that's been going on. And the Monday after that, the second, let me check. I didn't add the time on that. And I'm trying to check the calendar, but it is not on there. I'll add it to the calendar right after this town hall. I think we were using the 13 UTC slot, but I'll use the similar slot we were using in earlier work group syncing calls. And yeah, then a discussion session on ecology and sustainability. And we have Tina in the room, who's going to be facilitating this. And if I'm correct, it's now going to be February 2nd as well on 16 UTC. And please do correct me if I'm wrong. And if you feel like you can share a couple of words on it, perhaps. Sorry to put you on the spot like this. You don't have to, but if you want, you can.
Okay, I'll be on the spot. Let me see. Let me put my camera on here. See if you can see me. I don't know if you can see me or not.
Yeah, works perfect.
Um, okay. So I just wanted to maybe fill a gap. Vanni said maybe the group would be interested in trying to discuss sustainability with AI and what is our responsibility with AI and all the different areas that it's affecting for ecosystems and for sustainability of energy use, things like that. And I just wanted to talk about that and then give everyone a chance to go into a breakout room and discuss it. I'm going to make some predetermined questions and send them out through you beforehand so you can approve of everything that we're going to go over and maybe designate some speakers that want to start everybody's brain juices flowing if you want. But I could give a little tiny talk in the beginning before we break out and let everybody chime in.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks a lot for that. And looking forward to that. Yeah, let's make sure we take like a I would say a week-ish beforehand to put out this call for well, to give a bit of context and like you mentioned, maybe some people to get the breakout rooms going, the discussion in them. All right, awesome. And then I see my indentation doesn't quite work at the lowest, the last line on the BGI workgroups. There was initially a scheduled session for tomorrow, but this has been postponed by 1 week. So this will take place at the 28th. And I think the 17 UTC is still correct. I'll also add it to the, write that down. After the, well, basically after I get the time confirmed, because right now, I assume it's just exactly 1 week later than the original plan, but we're quite a bunch of participants who are actually at Davos currently. So it was decided to postpone with 1 week. And I think that covers dimensions at least. Yeah, then I do want to give a quick update on the restructuring process. It's still open for input. That's the very first point of order there. In governance work group call earlier today, we managed to discuss exactly one of the interview questions. So progress, yeah, it's a good thing in my mind. I don't mind it being slow. I mentioned this afternoon as well. Like I'd rather spend too many sessions on this than too little. But yeah, we were thinking we were going to be a bit quicker with the process, but the discussion was pretty good to have. We basically covered what kind of work needs to be paid, and it ties into work quality. And as most of you know, this is an ongoing topic since feels like forever, pretty much. We haven't fully solved it. Unfortunately, would be cool if we actually somehow solved that whole item. But yeah, without getting, it was a really good discussion, and it's yeah, like I mentioned, still open. Let me copy paste this link into chat, and the outline of the document here is pretty much if you were to restructure the ambassador program, how would you go about it? So you can how to say this? Simply put your suggestions in the document. That's the way of going about it. All right. And yeah, as mentioned before, early February, I'm expecting input from foundation side on what they are looking for and how they see the interactions between us, between BGI Nexus, and deep funding. And yeah, there's yeah, there's in context of Davos, there's Trump happening, let's say. Generally in Telegram channels, I try to cut discussion of politics short because it ends up in like this endless discussions. But for some reason on this topic, people seem quite aligned, and there's a lot of agreeing, like mostly agreeing on what's even going on. I hope it unfolds in a somewhat normal way, but that seems already like a high bar to aim for sometimes.
An oxymoron, normal and Trump.
Yes, unfortunately, yeah, it's bizarre. Thought we were kind of done with this imperialism, but it seems not. I don't know what to even say on the topic.
You don't need to comment further, Peter. It's okay.
Oh, I like Fanny's comment, but I'll keep it out of the YouTube description.
Right.
All right. Yeah, so back to the discussions on restructure. For coming Thursday, we'll finalize discussing the interview responses. And we did schedule one extra session for next week, just to allow for a little bit more space to, thoroughly cover the topics that we set out to. And well, if there's any questions on this, please ask them. But I think that covers from my side. Or if I'm skipping on something, also please add to it.
I look forward to hearing about the work groups and what you're doing here.
So the groups for you mean in general the work groups we're having, or the governance
For
work group
next week.
specifically?
Next week, you announced that you're going to be discussing what's going on in each of the groups. I look forward to hearing it.
For like the during town hall, yes. Yeah, all the work
Or
groups
the BGI work groups are you referring to, Tina?
Whatever work groups are going to happen next week. I'm going to listen in.
Well, technically, there's two happening because there will be BGI Nexus work group. There's a session for BGI Nexus work groups, and during this call next week, that's where our like the ambassador program work groups will give a little update on what they're doing. So plenty of work groups all around, pretty much. All right, and then drum roll, please. It's time for the unseen work hero of the week. And I figured I would simply and perhaps make a habit out of it during town hall, quickly hop over to the form where the responses are. You can find the form for submitting somebody as your unseen work hero of the week on the Ambassador General channel. And yeah, just for a bit of context, and this is not my idea, so I don't know, Fanny, if I can put you on the spot for a bit of context on this. I mean, I think I can do it as well.
I'm in quite, well, I was in quite a noisy environment, but I think they've stopped now, so hopefully you can hear me all right. Yeah, it came out of discussions last quarter and even before that about what do we even mean by work and how do we kind of capture all the things that people do unpaid and unrecognized and invisible. I mean, for me, it kind of goes back to things like, 70s and 80s feminism and, how they used to look at things like wages for housework and all the things that people do unrecognized that don't get paid, don't get heard about. And also, just expanding our definition of what counts as a contribution to a community. If someone had a little chat with you and made you smile, or if somebody made you see something in a new way, or whatever it is, that is, in a sense, work if we redefine work. I suppose this is an experiment then to see if it takes the heart out of it, if we start recognizing and rewarding it. But the idea is just, things that we're never going to be able to pay, at least recognize it by giving people mins or some other token, which will give them progress towards becoming a core contributor. So it gives them like a degree of governance clout, at least. So that's kind of what's behind it.
Yeah, awesome. We didn't properly prepare this, but I think a decent way of going about it would simply be checking out the sheet with the responses and then question mark, and then we have a winner. That's pretty much the outline I'm working with.
I mean, I suppose I should say that the whole point of it is it's not a competition. So everybody who gets nominated gets whatever token it is we're going to decide to do it. And I guess we just have to put that onto D-Work, or eventually we'll put it through the brand new shiny governance work group GitHub board.
That works, yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah, I guess without further ado, let's simply go here, and if I can get rid of all the overlays, we'll be able to read it. So yeah, I see this is for last week. So But then again, you mentioned that it's not a competition, clearly, so I'll simply call it out. So it's a nomination for Guillermo, and the question then is, why are you nominating them? What did they do? Basically, working on the film about what led to the AI assistant in the governance dashboard. And well, then the question is like, how did this help? How did it make you feel? And it feels like the community's history is being heard. I can only wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, so yeah, that's Guillermo being nominated. Then for this week we have Malik, and he's nominated because he helped sort out a little payments thing that needed sorting. Yeah, that's a prime example of the, in my mind at least, of like these small tiny bits that are not formally recognized, but they make all the difference. So nice nomination there. Then we have Tavo getting nominated because he's helping us all get off D-work. I can only imagine the person nominating here is not a fan of D-work. No, but again, in a similar vein, this is definitely, in my mind at least, a good move. GitHub is simply, it's an industry standard, right? In open source software contexts, nobody knows D-work. It's also partly because it's not open source, maybe. But yeah, cool. Then Andre got nominated because he sorted out an archives problem, requiring him to do a shatload of weekend unpaid work. And this made the nominator feel relieved because it supposedly got done. So that's awesome. I have to say this is, and you can clearly see this is the first time we're doing this. I think technically I'm not supposed to give like my personal comments on every single nomination, but in my mind, this would be an example of something that shouldn't be unpaid work, like a shitload of weekend work. That feels like a different category than just some tiny tidbits here that help out and are cool and appreciated. This feels like an actual, well, pretty big task.
I'd agree, but I also think there are people in this ecosystem who always underestimate how much they do, and they just go, "Oh yeah, I'll just do it at the weekend," and then you see what they did, and you're like, "Oh, blimey!"
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, in that sense, I think nominations like this are, if anything, it raises awareness on these things happening, and it doesn't mean automatically that everything that gets put here needs to be paid. Of course, that's not the intention. But in my mind, this is also highlighting something which we might need to. Well, at least it makes us keep an eye on what's happening, and to then in a later step perhaps consider if certain things should be paid, because this to me feels like he basically took a day out of his weekend to work on the archive. Yeah, I understand the nomination, so that's awesome, and I was also not aware of it. So yeah, it's in my mind it's already working this form. And then funny, you got nominated because of repeatedly sending governance call reminders, including the agenda items. Yeah, this does create awareness of the meetings happening, and it brings attendance into the meetings. So yeah, in a way, kind of also makes me think it should be, could be. I know it's really not the part of the form, but or the aim of the form to puzzle out whether things need to get paid or not. But yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, Guillermo, Malik, Tavo, Andre, Fanny, thanks. Not quite sure what to say. It's first time we're doing this, so I'm sure over time I'll get a bit more smooth at doing this segment. So yeah, also thanks to the people that nominated others. Without you, the system would not work. So yeah, I hope people will keep an eye out for nominating people. Any questions or comments on this? Ah, perfect, Fanny. Yes. So they will be captured on the governance GitHub board. Awesome. All right. Okay, you have to bear with this not being completely full screen. Oh, never mind. There we go. That does bring me to the final sheet of the call though. Looking at the clock, we definitely have space for open topics where anything goes, any questions, anything you want to share is very much welcome. So yeah, feel free to unmute and go for it if you feel inclined to do so. And let me also just add a small reminder there that generally speaking, if you during the week happen to think of something where you feel that would need to be a tunnel topic, yeah, you can always post it on Ambassador General channel or DM me. Very much open to input on that. And I think seeing no hands and no unmutes, starting to look like we might be close to wrapping for today, which would give us 25, 30-ish minutes back. Let me put a quick reminder on upcoming calls. If my calendar wants to. Yeah, so tomorrow there's the monthly archive for group meeting at 13 UTC.
Oh no, there isn't. Sorry, we should have took it off. Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's all good. At least now we know, because there were even 2 entries. So I was like, oh, this time it's definitely happening. Okay,
You see, Andre was so busy fixing the archive that he didn't get a chance to take it off the calendar.
Nice. Yeah, then I trust at some point you'll put the actual next call on there.
Yeah, I think we haven't decided because what we agreed is we're just going to have like 1 or maybe 2 calls this quarter. So not a January one, but we haven't decided what weeks. So if you could would you be able to take tomorrow's off the calendar for us?
Yeah, just that.
Thanks.
And by default, it's yeah, third Wednesday of the month. So next one is Feb 18. For some reason, also with a double entry. It's completely identical, so people won't get lost. It's all good. All right. Well, in that case, the very next community call would be tomorrow at 16 UTC for the education work group. And then followed on Thursday by open governance, the open governance work group call, which is at 14 UTC. And then at 16 UTC on Thursday, we have African Guild. And then on Friday, we have the usual marketing writers and video work group. So there's 6 more calls upcoming. You won't have to be bored. So I hope to see you on any of those. And if not, please do attend next week's town hall where all the work groups will give a little update. And yeah, in the meantime, we'll talk on Discord. So from my side, that's it. Last check, if you happen to have anything to add, you most definitely can. All right, then do have a nice remainder of your Tuesday evening or afternoon still for some of us. And see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you.
And you.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Peter.
Welcome. Bye-bye.